This is Tank's Vlog for February 4th, 2019, wrapping up the day in sports. We're brought to you by Allow Me to Be Frank, the weekly podcast, or soon to be weekly again, podcast you can hear on SoundCloud and iTunes. So, click subscribe, and then when we start doing new shows, you will definitely be one of the first to know. It's the nightmare that never ends, and it goes on and on, my friend. 6 Super Bowls now. 6 Super Bowls that the Patriots have won. And I gotta say this, if you're a Patriot fan, you enjoyed the Super Bowl. Fans of 31 other teams were bored to tears. Now, I could like a defensive game, but this wasn't defensive. This was awful. Awful. Jared Goff stunk up the Mercedes-Benz Stadium like you couldn't believe. Now, he got some padded his stats near the end of the game, but jeez, he was missing receivers all night long. Todd Gurley, I guess he was hurt. 35 yards on 10 carries. C.J. Anderson was even worse. 22 yards on 7 carries. The Rams' offense was stagnant. They never reached the red zone. Man, just one field goal, and the Patriots were not much better. Of course, Julian Edelman had a tremendous night, winning the MVP with 141 yards on 10 catches. Many of them leading to first downs. Stephen Gostkowski missed an early field goal. Tom Brady had an early interception, which sealed off a drive. And the Patriots did not reach the red zone until midway through the fourth quarter. And that was, of course, what led to the touchdown from Sony Michel. And that was the only touchdown of the game. I mean, last year was the highest scoring game in Super Bowl history. Today was the lowest scoring game in Super Bowl history, as the Patriots took down the Rams 13-3. Sean McVay, people might be talking about, oh, this guy's the next great thing, he's the next great coach. I didn't see it today. I did not see a great coach from Sean McVay. The Rams looked ill-prepared out there. And the NFL, they deserve it. They deserve this. They deserve this absolute stinkfest of a game, because it should have been the Saints in the game. But no! The referee had to blow the call, so he ended up getting the Rams, who were very bad. Horrible game. Horrible game. Horrible game. You know, I remember the Super Bowls when there were blowouts. And those are some bad games. There were a lot of bad games. Super Bowl 24 was a terrible game. Super Bowl 29 was awful. This was about as dull and boring of a game that you could have imagined. I mean, there were a million punts. I mean, just terrible football. Terrible football. And the Rams, you know, if you got them third and long, they had no chance. They did nothing. They did nothing. They ran as vanilla of offense as you can imagine. There was no creativity. Jared Goff only completed 50% of his passes, 19 of 38, for 229 yards, many of them coming on the last couple of drives, especially the last drive, as the Patriots were in celebration mode and letting the Rams just catch balls up the middle so they could run out the damn clock. Just an awful game. Awful, awful, awful football game. I mean, it was 3-0 at the half. Rams got a field goal in the third quarter, make it 3-3. Just terrible, terrible football. Just terrible. Terrible football. Each side had an interception. There just was not much excitement in this game. Not just the dull as dishwater Super Bowl, and the Patriots are the champs 6 times. Trying the Steelers. Good God. Can they please retire now? Can they go off in the sunset and make football great again? I want new teams in here. I want new blood. I'm tired of the Patriots. It's not bad enough being a Dolphin fan. You're stuck in your division and they kick your ass every damn year. Oh, God. But, you know, Tom Brady just continues to show he's the best of all time. Personally, I think Vince Lombardi is the best coach of all time. But you got to put Bill Belichick right next to him. Rob Gronkowski, another great game. He made the big plays when they were necessary. I mean, they gave Edelman the MVP. Could just as easily have been Gronkowski. Brady, this might have been his worst Super Bowl performance. I mean, only 262 yards passing, no touchdowns, 1 interception. Very pedestrian. Sonny Michel, he had an okay game, but he didn't reach 100 yards. This is just how bad this game was. And then you look at the defense. Did anyone really stand up on defense that could have been the MVP? I mean, the McCourtys, they both had a tremendous day, especially Jason McCourty. But, jeez. It was a bad game. Dante Hightower had a couple of sacks. Oof. This was not a Super Bowl to remember. And of course, you know, halftime shows sucked. And can we get some people who are legitimate musicians and not just a bunch of pop artists? Please? Can we get people that write their own songs and not the repetitive lyrics of Maroon 5 and all these pop people? Awful. So Boston gets another duck boat parade, and with the Patriots in football not able to respond ever, they'll probably get another one next year too. Hey, besides Super Bowl, there were a couple of NHL games earlier in the day. It was the Boston Bruins blanking the Capitals 1-0. It was ended a 14-game losing streak for the Bruins in Washington. Capitals have not played well since the start of the new year. Le Canadien beat the Oilers 4-3 on a goal by Jonathan Drouin, sorry. Jonathan Drouin got the game-winning goal in that one. And it's the 5th straight loss for the Oilers, who have been mighty leaky as of late. It was the Flames beating the Hurricanes 4-3. Flames having a really good year. Top team right now in the Western Conference. Moving on to the NBA, it was the Grizzlies 96-84 winners over the Knicks at Madison Square Garden. DeAndre Jordan made his debut, Dennis Smith Jr. made his debut, and the Knicks still lost. Meanwhile, the Celtics made it a Boston fantastic sweep, beating the Thunder 134-129, and the Raptors beat the Clippers 121-103. Today's 3 stars, let's go Boston, Boston, Boston with Julian Edelman of the Patriots. Tuukka Rask with his 24-save shutout for the Bruins. And Kyrie Irving with 30 points, 11 rebounds, and 4 assists in the Celtics win over the Thunder. Today's birthday shutout goes to the all-time greatest defensive player, Lawrence Taylor, who turned 60. And we take a look back to 1969, when baseball named a new commissioner, and it was Bowie Kuhn, a former lawyer who had worked with the National League in their defense against the city of Milwaukee. So check out the full story at Barstool Sports and Sports Encyclopedia, where sports history lives. Don't forget to listen to Allow Me to Be Frank, and oh, the pain. Good day.